It is only at the first encounter that a face makes its full impression on us. The two enemies of human happiness are pain and boredom. Change alone is eternal, perpetual, immortal. Friends and acquaintances are the surest passport to fortune. Hatred is an affair of the heart, contempt that of the head. We forfeit 3/4 of ourselves in order to be like other people. Politeness is to human nature what warmth is to wax. Treat a work of art like a prince. Let it speak to you first. The discovery of truth is prevented more effectively, not by the false appearance things present and which mislead into error. Not directly by weakness of the reasoning powers, but by preconceived opinion, by prejudice. After your death you will be what you were before your birth. Boredom is just the reverse side of fascination. Both depend on being outside rather than inside a situation, and one leads to the other. In our monogamous part of the world, to marry means to have one's rights and double one's duties. Music is the melody whose text is the world. A man's face as a rule says more, and more interesting things, than his mouth, for it is a compendium of everything his mouth will ever say, in that it is the monogram of all this man's thoughts and aspirations. Will minus intellect constitutes vulgarity. Every person takes the limits of their own field of vision for the limits of the world. Suffering by nature or chance never seems so painful as suffering inflicted on us by the arbitrary will of another. The alchemists in their search for gold discovered many other things of greater value. Reading is equivalent to thinking with someone else's head instead of with one's own. Rascals are always sociable, more's the pity. And the chief sign that a man has any nobility in his character is the little pleasure he takes in others' company. Great minds are related to the brief span of time during which they live as great buildings are to a little square in which they stand. You cannot see them in all their magnitude because you are standing too close to them. It is in the treatment of trifles that a person shows what they are. Leap is the interest we have to pay on the capital which is called in at death, and the higher the rate of interest and the more regularly it is paid, the further the date of redemption is postponed. If we were not also interested in ourselves, life would be so uninteresting that none of us would be able to endure it. Opinion is like a pendulum and obeys the same law. If it goes past the center of gravity on one side, it must go a like distance on the other, and it is only after a certain time that it finds the true point at which it can remain at rest. In the sphere of thought, absurdity and perversity remain the masters of the world, and their dominion is suspended only for brief periods.